All right. Well, welcome everyone to our moving up call. So, as always, I would love to just kind of go ahead and share some good news. So, anyone that has any good news to share, anything you did to get out of your comfort zone, maybe you went and got that extra one show or that extra one booking, or you just invited people to the opportunity event that just ended. So, any good news that you guys want to share? Go ahead, unmute yourself.
I had 4 people come to the opportunity event tonight.
Whoa! So what did you do to get them in the opportunity event?
Asked them very nicely.
Okay, so now the fortune is in the follow-up, right?
Correct.
Following up and saying, so what did you think? Are you ready to get started? Don't be afraid to ask the question. Are you ready to get started? Okay. Awesome. And then we're going to set up lots of three-way calls, Kathy, with all these people tomorrow.
Okay.
Awesome. Way to go. Who else has good news? Come on, peeps.
This is Michelle. I have a new recruit, and I got someone to join the opportunity event tonight last minute. But hey, at least she joined in.
Yay! Your new first recruit too. So
yeah.
Yay! And who joined your opportunity event, and how did you get her to join?
Her name's Heather. She's been out of work for a while, so I just said, hey, I know you don't like to get in front of people, but what if I told you can do it virtually? Like, there's people that are super successful and they're just doing this all right online, and I can show you all the resources and just learn about it. You don't have to commit tonight. Just join into this one group. And she said, sure. So.
Okay. So you heard it, right? The fortune's in the follow-up. So following up and just saying, hey, what did you think? Are you ready to get started? And if they're like, oh, I still have questions, or I need to think about it, then you can say, you know what, let's set up a three-way call with my friend, Claudia, Casey in your case, or even me, and we can just make sure we can answer all your questions. Do you have 10 minutes for me tomorrow?
Okay.
Okay, so remember, anything, even with bookings and nobody gets followed up with, so, keep on those people. Awesome, way to go. Anyone
Thanks.
else? What has happened since last week? Esther, go ahead.
So I officially have 8 people coming to my freezer meal workshop. I am so excited.
So Esther, tell this group about the freezer meal workshop we're doing so they can benefit from it too.
So we're doing like this massive freezer meal workshop. We're each bringing about 5 people. However, the date for some of my people hasn't worked. So I'm actually tying in another date we're doing our big freezer meal workshop on Friday. And I said, well, if you guys can't do it Friday, I'll make my house available on Sunday and you guys can join. So I actually have 3 women coming on Sunday to my house to do the freezer meal workshop because they can't attend the one on Friday. So, it's really exploded in my neighborhood. Everybody's very excited. We're all busy moms, and we need to get food on the table, and so this is a great way to advertise and to say, hey, this is easy, healthy. It's inexpensive because we're not going to McDonald's or Pizza Hut or whatever, and spending the $10-15 that you would be if you're going to feed your kids fast food. So anyways, it's really been great. So I'm very excited that we're up to 8 people.
Yay. So obviously this is a great time for all of us to get together and share ideas. So this is one of the ideas that we came up with here is, to put a little twist on a regular freezer meal workshop and to just call it a ladies' night out freezer meal workshops. Because I'm sure, or you can, do something with men too, men barbecue freezer meal workshop, right? For those men on our team. But, so many people attend these paint parties and craft parties and they spend like $40-50 and then they go home with a picture, right? So I was like, we need a fun twist on these freezer meal workshops. So we, local team, decided to pick a Friday night and to each commit to bring 5 people or work on trying to get 5 people there, because then that equals a show and everyone's going to use the free items that they earn with their host rewards to order giveaways. So it's not costing us anything. And we're going to make a big deal about, everyone winning a prize or some people winning a prize, depending on how many we get. And then we're all going to work together to, one person brings the wine, the other one brings maybe some chocolate. We haven't figured out the details yet, but really giving them a fun night out, but still advertising as, okay, your husband's not going to be mad because you went out for a couple of hours and had a good time because you still brought 10 dinners home. So we've kind of been advertising it, and it seems like it's a good time with back to school, and it's been working very well. So utilize that. And if you need more training on the Freeze and More workshops, I always say the best way to learn them is to just order a pantry kit yourself and to do a set yourself, so you really understand how does this actually work before I try and do a workshop with 10 people. All right. Any questions about that? All right, good. Well, this is a great peer sharing call already. Already knocked one check mark off. All right, any other good news? What have you guys been trying? Who's been booking shows, had shows, had a good vendor event or something?
I have a recruit.
Yay, you do.
Yes, and I have 2 people on the work from home virtual thing right now.
Carolyn, it's happening. And I think you tuned in late, so I was just reminding everyone to follow up with those leads, right? Like tonight,
Yep.
As soon as we get off, follow up with them and ask them what they thought. Okay. All right. Any other good news? Anything new you tried to get some shows, to get leads, to book parties?
Claudia, am I allowed to share?
Sure, go ahead.
So I had a vendor event last week, and I booked. So I got like almost $200 in orders and booked 2 shows at a vendor event. That doesn't happen to me very often. I often book shows, but I don't usually get a lot of sales. And what I did at it was I had given out, it was a quarter auction event. So people were able to win prizes and door prizes. And in my door prizes, I included $10 coupons, and then auction winners got $20 coupons. And I had one person who got a $20 coupon who ordered $19 in product, and I got one person who got a $10 coupon who ordered $120 of product. So you just kind of never know, but I was really excited, and I booked a fundraiser and a virtual party at that event. So that was like super life infusing for me.
Yay, awesome. And you know what? I know there's many of you that have been doing vendor events, and there's some of you that maybe have never done it. Just know that eventually there'll be a good vendor event, okay? Whatever you do, there might be a sucky one, and then there's a good one, and then there's a medium one, but as long as you just do it, if you want to grow in this business, I highly encourage you guys to do at least 1 a month, maybe even 2 or more if because you just never know, and then track those bookings, right? So Troy might track that 1 show or those 2 shows that you just got from one vendor event, and how far that branch is going to grow as far as more shows, recruit leads, and maybe even a future director.
Well, and I'll tell you, I did the same event last month, and I did book a show, and the host has like rescheduled, and so you just don't know. Like, it's the same event. It's the second month that I'm at that event, and this one is like so much better than last. And there were less people at this one than there were last time. So I think it's important to listen to Claudia to know that, like, just keep doing them. And to just share encouragement from that as well, I just did the third party. I gave away, someone won my raffle of a free cooking show last month. And I just completed my third party of the 3 bookings from her show. We haven't closed it out yet, but 2 of them were virtual, and 1 of them was a cooking show. And so that was from she won my free cooking show. So you just never know. Like, you get into a whole new group of people.
Yeah, you never know, and everyone wins a free cooking show. Esther, go ahead.
Can she repeat the coupon thing? That's kind of my goal until the end of the year, is to do multiple vendor events. And so I just wanted to get more ideas because, obviously it would be great to have a good arsenal of things to go into vendor events with. What was the coupon thing again?
Well, I can share it in the group. So
why don't you post it in the group with the wording and everything that you use?
I'll just post the document that I use.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else? Anyone else have been trying anything new? Okay. So obviously this is not, this is our peer sharing call. So I need to hear from you guys a lot on this call and share. However, obviously there's a couple things we do need to cover tonight. So first of all, who has filled out that skill assessment that Donna posted earlier? What did you guys think of that? I think even I had a couple moments where I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I think that's a good wake-up call for anyone to do.
Yeah, it wasn't so nice.
It wasn't so nice.
No, not really.
Well, it's reality.
Claudia, I
Right.
think
Well,
Go ahead,
Sorry.
Joby.
go ahead, Joby.
I think it all is in where you're at in your business as far, because I'm primarily virtual, and so a lot of the things, I mean, you still do the same things, but you do them very differently, I guess, in a virtual in a home cooking show. So, but as far as, we're talking about the questionnaire about the assessment on where you're at with the and all that, right? But the training, I was the hardest part. I had to answer because I didn't have the list of every video I've ever watched, because like I try to be a sponge and just soak it all in. And I couldn't off the top of my head think of one thing I'd done other than PCU and the Director Bound program and everything you've told me to watch on any of those homework assignments. So I'm like, okay, I've just done everything.
Yeah, just everything.
I've done it all.
Yeah, but and we're going to look at those assessments too. And it's not like, we're trying to say, oh, you're not so good at this one thing, but it's really to say, okay, how can we really help you if this is something you don't feel strong about, until you can be a 10 in everything, right? Which is good, because sometimes we get so used to doing things and, oh yeah, well, it's going, that we maybe just need someone to tell us, hey, let's work on that specifically just over the next couple weeks. Let's track the numbers. Let's see if we, do this at shows or do that at host coaching, if that can increase our show average and so on, right? So if you've not filled that out yet, definitely go ahead and do that. And, now is also a good time to obviously talk about host coaching. However, I don't want to spend 30 minutes talking about host coaching because a lot of you have heard it before. But I do want to reference that if you ever need any additional training on host coaching, obviously you can ask your directors, but utilize Pampered Chef University, all right? Even if you just feel like you need a clean, fresh start, they redid Pampered Chef University as far as the new consultants go since like last month. So it's always a great time to kind of go back in there and watch those new videos. And see those new show outlines and stuff like that. So you can kind of, be like, oh, okay, what have I missed? Because they've really been updating a lot. And they've also been updating a lot for the virtual parties as well. So if you've not seen that, now is a good time to go back. But again, the basics for host coaching is just do it. All right. If you want to increase your party, if you want to have control as far as how many people are going to go, how, is the host excited, you need to host coach. Whether you call them, you text them, whatever, something needs to happen. I'm not a big phone person, I'll admit it, but I will at least try to get my host on the phone at least once before her party. And I don't even have an agenda, I just kind of ramble just to kind of get a feeling of, are they excited and are they going to do what it takes to make a successful party? Just to give you an example, actually just today, one of my hosts for next week messaged me and said, hey, you know what, it's for cooking shows. He said, I think we'll have to wait till the spring because no one is RSVPing. So I looked at her Facebook event and she invited 8 people and she's an older lady, right? So I was like, hey, you know what, can I give you a quick call? Because I really think I have some tips to help you. And then I said, oh, the addresses you send me, she sent me like 10 addresses. I'm like, oh, they just went in the mail, although they were still sitting on my desk, okay? But then I called and I said, look, here's how Facebook works. Not everyone's going to see it. So I was like, can you today and tomorrow reach out to anyone that you come across with? Call people, call your neighbors, text your family, and she's like, oh yeah, my sister's coming over, I'll ask her. So she just needed reassurance that she wasn't failing because, she might have put something out on Facebook and nobody responded, but me reassuring her that that's because nobody saw it yet. And literally they haven't even seen the event, right? she was like, okay, let me do that. And, she was excited to have some tips on how to get people there. Because if our hosts think they're failing, that's why they cancel, right? Because they're not going to want to clean a house for 2 people. They're not going to go through a week-long virtual party for 2 people to RSVP guests, right? They're going to check out faster than the guests. So just a little tip on that, and just calling your hosts and just finding out who they are, especially if you're doing virtual parties. We don't know these people, all right? So they need to know us and we need to know them. So even like, if the host's like, oh yeah, you can call me during my lunch break, ask her, so what do you do? How often do you work? Just ask them questions and maybe make it a game. Try to find out 3 things that you didn't know about your host. But, we can give you all the scripts and everything, but really, again, we can't say it often more than enough. It is a relationship business. Just giving them a quick call, it's so appreciated by them. Don't be afraid. If you need help, read a script, okay? And if not, just babble, all right? Just as long as you're touching base with them. And they are going to thank you. And they're going to be like, oh my God, thank you so much for reaching out and kind of walking me through my packet. Because if we send them a giant packet with flyers and games and, they're like overwhelmed. They're just going to sit somewhere. It's not going anywhere, okay? But again, if you need some more training on host coaching, Pampered Chef University is a great resource. And there's all kinds of calls on there as well, coaching calls that you can listen to for host coaching as well. Is there anyone that struggles with host coaching, doesn't know what to say, or is there anyone that has maybe implemented more host coaching and did realize that their results were better? Or anything else you guys want to share about host coaching?
I've done the host coaching from that's on Evernote, and I just don't think my hosts understand how to, like when you tell them copy and paste, they do something completely different. Or I don't know, they don't do it the way you tell them to.
So why do you think that is?
I don't know, because it's hard for us to know whether they're really doing what you tell them to, because you tell them to like it says, to message your invited guests and then message the ones that have seen but not going, different things each day. And you don't really know if they're doing it or not. They say they are, but then they put some random, all they do is share the event.
Well, right. And
to the
sometimes
wall.
it's just they really don't understand it, okay? Depending on the age group too, they just have no clue, right? But again, we can send them recommendations and stuff, but just telling them like, hey, they want to hear more from you than they want to hear from me. I don't care if you message them. I don't care if you tag them. I don't care if you call them. You need to be the highlight of this party, right? And sometimes it's too complicated for them to say, message all the invited and send this. They don't want to do that. Maybe they don't have time. But, okay, what else could we do if they're not doing that? Can you share a picture of you and a product that you have in your kitchen? Or, are you using any Pampered Chef for dinner tonight? Could you share that? Or what's on your wish list? And then maybe if that, if you realize, you really got to figure out, is it a lazy host that doesn't want to do anything? Or is it a host that really doesn't understand how to?
Right. Or I think too, sometimes I think they're bugging people or being annoying.
Yeah, and then you can reassure them that too and just say, hey, you know what? Maybe you think you're bugging people, but just to let you know, nobody's going to be offended if you just ask them to, if they were interested in something without, throwing up on them with, buy this, host this, join my team. Just kind of asking, hey, we're getting ready to close the party. I just invited you. I didn't know if you saw it. Were you interested in anything? Less is always more. Okay. Any other host coaching questions? Go ahead, Esther.
I just finished a show or closed a show, and my host was amazing. She posted videos of her cooking with her products, and she would message. She did a group message by herself with everybody who was in her party, and was like, "Hey guys, don't forget to order." And And every single person that she invited and that said they were coming ordered from her party. And it was mind blowing to me how interactive she was. And then my sister is now doing a party for me right now, and she's also doing the same thing. I encourage her. I said, just participate, as much as you can. And she's like been going overboard with videos, and not it's in a good way, but just posting videos, and she's been grabbing some of my old videos from YouTube and posting them on her party. And so it's just really been awesome. Like videos that I haven't used in my post my party, she's posting them on there. It's just really encouraging when you have a host that actually participates and is encouraging. So it really kind of just encourages you to even be more interactive. So today on the party, I did a giveaway, and I had like 15 people trying to win this giveaway. You were like, okay, you have to guess the name of this, or and so it's just really awesome. But it was just, again, encouraging to see a host really participate and be a part of the party, and not just stand back and let you run everything. So
yeah, and it's good to have that too if you've never had it, because now you know like what the standard should be, and really now you can talk about experience and just say, hey, I just know that when my hosts participate more, you are going to get better rewards. That's how it is. If you want free stuff, you're gonna have to work for it, right? Awesome. Anyone else? Any host coaching tips and tricks that's been working? You guys are awful quiet today. All right. Well, I'm not going to go into too details because most of you have been around for a little bit. And if not, the host coaching training on Pampered Chef University has your trackers, what you should be doing from the moment you set up your party, the follow-ups, and everything you need to do. And just remember that you make your money during host coaching, all right? And you just go pick it up at the party. So invest the time before the party where you still can control how many people are going to be there. Because once you're at a party, even a virtual party, right? Once you're at the party, you can only do so much with the 5-10 people there. But maybe if we invest a little bit of extra time, really picking up that phone, texting, Snapchatting, whatever you're doing these days, right? Creating that relationship, then you can still influence the outcome of the party. Okay. So we wanted to ask you guys, like, what are different ways, because we all know that our highest potential recruit leads are our hosts, right? So if you guys have 4 parties left for the month, guess what? You have 4 recruit leads. So what are some ways that we could ask our hosts to try Pampered Chef? What do you guys normally do?
I have them send me their wish list, and I compare their wish list to the kit and give them the price comparison of what the kit would cost them with all the extra products that come in it versus just buying that product, such as the Rock Crock, the manual food processor, and do the comparison that way and do the give me 30 days spill.
Yeah. So what's the give me 30 days spill? Because there could be some new people on here that don't know.
Oh, just to get the kit, let's get you a launch party scheduled. Give me 30 days to try out this business. We'll get you 6 to 8 shows booked in that month. And if you decide it's not for you, you get to keep everything in the kit. If you love it as much as I do, you have a brand new career.
There you go. How many of you get your host wish list? Oh, we need some more hands next time. So, Joby, maybe share what do you do to get your host wish list?
I put that in my post packet in a how to use my website letter, and then that way they've got all the details in there, and then I put in the verbiage in there of, if you send me this, I'm going to help you get as many items on this wish list as I can. But then I also do wish lists with my guest. That's part of my template in Post My Party is I make it a game. They earn drawing tickets for the guest also doing the wish list.
Yeah, so we need a host wish list, whether they fill it out on the website or whether they just tell you what they want. because you need to know why they hosted a party, right? We need to know, okay, guess what? You want a rock? All right, well, we need, $1,000 party to get it free. You need to know what they're excited about, and then, cater your party towards that too. And at the party say, all right, Kathy, I know this is on your wish list, and, that's why Kathy booked a party. I always joke too. I'll be like, oh, the only reason Kathy booked a party is so she can get a free rock, not so she can hang out with her friends, right? So just have a little humor. And the other thing too is if you guys do what Joby does, right, and get a guest list from your, get a wish list from your guests, and get a wish list from your hosts. When you need bookings, right? Guess what? You can go back to the people that connected a wish list with you and start calling them, because guess what? Every time they host a party, they can get their stuff for free, or it's on special for half price. So it's a good database that you're creating for yourself when you need to make contacts and need bookings. So
especially if one of their big items on their wish list is the host special.
Absolutely.
That's
yeah, then
huge.
definitely. Yeah, but if not, it's always on special.
Right.
Go ahead, Nancy. You gotta unmute yourself, Nancy.
Okay. What I always tell them because I'm primarily virtual parties, is that I need their wish list so that I know what kind of prize to pick for the different contests, but also so I can let them know when something that's on their wish list is a host special in the future or on sale or anything. And they're pretty good about filling them out. Since I've finally got power now, I've got 6 to print out so I can know what to do.
Yeah.
Because I've been without power for a few days, but it's good.
We're back and running.
So can I just say, Joby, I got to give kudos to Joby, because I was in a tight spot last week starting some Facebook parties, and Joby totally shared with me, and I appreciate it. And I'll tell you what I did, because I'm in direct ship. So one of the things that I can't do that's in her wording is to add things to people's orders. So I did instead, I just focused on the wish list, and I'm giving out 50 points to people who, or 50 tickets to everyone who submits a wish list. And I've gotten more wish lists from the last 2 parties than I have in months. So, and I mean, it's not, I've gotten 4, but still, guess what? Those are 4 new leads, right, that I didn't have for bookings.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you're just creating that database, because now customers are connecting to you, right? So good thing we talked about wish lists. Let's not skip that one. Okay, so that's a great way to ask your host about joining, right? Comparing their wish list. How else can we ask our hosts about joining? How do you guys ask your hosts, which I hope all of you guys do, about joining? What else? How else are you asking them?
I tell them to take a look at the inside back cover of the catalog, 'cause that is the best deal. And I tell them too about the 30-day trial. No questions asked. If they do it, they do. They don't, they don't. They get to keep the kit, but it is the best deal. And I point out that the 159 kit has the grill stone and the rock crock.
Okay, good.
One other thing I do, Claudia, in my host coaching, whenever there's a host that's being very, very participating a lot and doing everything I have and posting their own food products and posting their own dinner, that's the people that I'm really going at, because I tell them, I send them a private message. It's not in my group host coaching. I send them a private message saying how good they are at it and really boosting their confidence in themselves, and then telling them how great they would be as a consultant, and starting it off that way and thanking them that they're going to really make it a successful party, and that just to set them up higher than everybody else, because now I've taken them out of the group and really focused on them and what their abilities are.
Yeah, good. Love it. What else? How else are we asking our hosts to join? You're all in moving up. So you should all be asking your hosts every single time, multiple times. So I'm not going to call people out, but how are we asking our hosts to join?
When I deliver my host packet for tomorrow, for next week's party, she asked if she's interested, how she would like to be doing what I'm doing, especially since Lori posted on there about congratulations for being one of the top sellers and all that. Everybody comment on that. And so I'm meeting with her tomorrow to talk that over. I'm going to take her host packet. But I would like a sample to see what the letter is that Joby puts in her packets about the wish list. Because I'm not good with words and putting things together. I'm
and maybe Joe
putting templates together, but all the other stuff, no.
I can add that to the files in the group.
Okay, thank you.
Right, Joey's got to go back to work. It's a busy girl.
Yeah. So I actually have 2 letters. Just I'll tell you, one's how to use my website, and one is how the party's going to work, and that's got actually a recruiting piece in it right from the get-go. So I can put both of those in there.
All right, go post that and then get back to work or later. Thanks, Joby. All right, so let me repeat this again. Your hosts are your highest potential. Oh, Troy, did you want to say something?
I did. So, and this is wording I got from you, Claudia, but the way that I have found that it's easiest to open up the conversation with a host is just, have you ever thought about doing something like Pampered Chef? And then you or maybe I'll start with a compliment like, oh my gosh, look how excited people are. Look how much people are participating in your party. Look at what you're doing. Oh my gosh, those pictures were great. Have you ever thought about doing something like Pampered Chef? And so it's because it's a very non-threatening question. And it's kind of like, oh, you know what? I really haven't. Oh my gosh, you totally should. Look at what I'm doing and see, don't you think you could do what I do? This is not brain surgery, right? Or as my husband says, it's not rocket surgery. So, and that's planting seeds. I don't expect to get a yes right there, but that's kind of my first opening.
Right. Yeah. And, the other thing, is there a reason why you guys are not asking your hosts? Is there something that's holding you back from asking your hosts to joining your team?
My problem is I have to get out of my circle. And once I get out of my circle, then I can ask new people because it's mostly family. And they've already told me, no, don't even ask me to join the team. I don't want to sell.
Okay.
So once I can meet new people that I don't really know, then I can apply these new things.
And the best thing too is, when you're still inside of your circle, is when you have those couple parties that people help you with and start out with, to really focus on that host coaching and give, incentives or an extra ticket if you bring a friend that wasn't invited or that I don't know, right? To really get like everyone in your circle to bring someone from outside, because that's all you need is just 1 or 2 people outside of your circle to get this thing, launched. Yeah, so definitely we can't run a successful business in our circle. All right. We can't depend on family and friends to buy Pampered Chef from us at all times. So,
Right.
All right. Kathy, did you want to say something?
I guess I assume too much. I think they're not going to want to do it, so I'm afraid to ask. I know
Okay. Yeah, so prejudging people, right? Oh, she's too young, she's too busy, she's already got a full-time job, and she goes to school, and she's pregnant. So, Kathy, how often did Liz ask you?
I think she asked me about 2 or 3 times. And
Right.
I was too busy, of course.
We're all busy. Okay, so just remember that how often you've been asked to join before you joined. And that you just can't prejudge, okay? And I know it's hard, but you just can't do it. And you don't know what people's situation is. They might look like they've got it all together, but then they go home and the bills are piling up and the credit cards are piling up, and they might have just been waiting for something like Pampered Chef.
I got somebody right now. I've actually been talking to her. she keeps telling me she doesn't have money for the kit, so I'm trying to find solutions for that because she really wants to join. So,
Yeah. So and I can give you all these answers, but I want you guys to talk. So what are some things that we can say if someone says, I don't have money for the kit?
You can get the small kit and add to it later.
Yes, get the small kit, because a lot of times they want to save up money for the big kit because it's the best deal and it's awesome. But I always tell them, like, look, you can wait 3 months and save up $249, or you can start now with the smallest kit and make that $300 in 30 days. Right?
And you can tell them that they're going to earn that money back.
that's what I've been trying to tell her. I don't know.
Yeah, and then also too, if they don't have the money, or anytime they're just kind of like not quite ready, right? Okay, well, while we wait for you to save up the money, or while we wait for you to decide if you're going to make money off this party, let's go ahead and schedule a party, and then you can kind of see if you want to take it or not. Because if they have it, even if they have a, if they have a party, right? They get a $50 kit credit with a $400 party, I think, on top of my head. Then they can just join for $49. And sometimes I just tell people, like, look, I can spend more. I can spend $100 in like 10 minutes at Walmart. Okay. And most people can do too. I'm not alone, right? So just kind of putting it in perspective, sometimes you're like, okay, yeah, I guess, you're probably right. Esther?
So my sister is signing on, but that's what we're doing. We're doing a virtual party for her now, and we're going to use her kit credit to get her
starter kit?
Her starter kit, yes, sorry. And then after that, we already have a catalog show lined up for her launch party. So I'm excited. I think it'll be good.
Yeah. All right, so don't prejudge. And then here's the other thing too, right? So you have two options basically when you have a host, okay, and you want to offer them the business. Option number one, I kind of prefer that option as far as, because you guys are going for a promotion this month, would be saying, hey, Elizabeth, I'm so excited about your party. I'm getting ready to set it up. But before I get it all set up, I did want to ask and let you know that you can actually not only earn the hostess rewards from this party, but you can actually make money off this party right away. Are you in the market for some extra income? Okay. If they join before you set up the party, before you mail them a host packet and all that, or before you get orders in a virtual party, you can just transfer it. They can order the kit, and now this is their launch party. Okay. However, obviously, you're not going to make as much money of this party now because you have a team member. So when you get a team member, it's kind of like almost like a exponential growth that will be happening, because obviously when you guys have your 5 and they're active, you're going to make more money overall, right? However, if that's not something you want to go after, planting the seeds and letting them know that part of the hostess rewards is that they can earn $25 or $50 kit credit towards the purchase of a kit, and they would be getting all the bookings from this party. Are you in the market for some extra income? Okay, you would never close a party and not tell a host that they earn $120 in free and 5 half-price items and the host special, right? We would never do that. So why would we ever close a party without telling our host that they qualified for kit credit? It's like not giving them all the rewards. Okay, you're just sharing the rewards with them. And you guys are all in here to grow. And whatever Pampered Chef has done for you, maybe in just a week since you just joined, or in months or years, it can help other people. Whether you've made $100 or $1,000, right? You can help other people. And that's what you got to think. You just got to get that switch, got to go off. And you can't think, I need 5 people this month. I need 5 active people. Who else can I get on my team to join? No, who else can I help? Especially now with the holidays, right? People are going right now to Bed Bath & Beyond at the mall, to Bath & Body Works, to work like night shifts open till 11 p.m. for the holidays, right? But they could just be doing something like Pampered Chef too, all right? This wasn't supposed to be all about recruiting, but here we are. That's okay. These calls, that's why we kind of post the training ahead of time now, so we can really just kind of see what you guys need help with and just talk about it. And, we always come up with amazing things. But once you ask that question, if they're in the market for some extra income, or they might have, more questions, I've talked to many of you this week, and we really want to try to not word vomit, right? Not word vomit when we book parties, not word vomit when we tell them about the business, because we can scare people away the more we talk. So less is better, okay? And then setting up, sending them the link to your website. So when you go on your website and click on Be a Consultant, copy and paste that link. That website is amazing. All those people on there, you might not know it. All those videos, they're all real people, okay? They're all people I've met. They're all real people. They can go on there. They can, just be like, okay, you know what? Check out this link. What do you think? Do you have any questions? And if they have questions, then set up a 3-way call or a 3-way Facebook message, or send your director screenshots of the conversation so we can help you with your word choices until you get comfortable with it. Okay, we're not here to say, oh, you shouldn't have said this or blah, blah, blah. We're really here to help you, so, soon you can just recruit people like that because it's really not, sometimes we make it harder than it is. Any questions about that? Anything else holding you guys back from asking your host?
No, but I do have what might seem like a dumb question.
No dumb questions.
How do you do a screenshot?
Well, it depends on your phone. So I will tell you what I did when I got my new phone. I Googled how to do a screenshot with my Droid, whatever I have.
Because I've got an iPhone, and I don't know, but I want to make another comment.
Esther's like, I'm here. Esther's the techie.
So on an iPhone, to make a screenshot, all you're going to do is your thumb on the home button and your finger on the power button, and you press those simultaneously. So you press them at the same time, and your screen will flash white, and that's taking a screenshot of whatever you're doing.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I do have a comment too. I attended Pampered Chef parties for 25, 30 years, and not one time was it mentioned, and these were all cooking shows, of course, until the last few years. Not one time was was it discussed about signing on to Pampered Chef. And that was with probably 10 different consultants. So never be afraid to mention, because it never was. Not might have come up to me raising so many kids. I could have used the extra money, but I just never thought about it. It was never approached.
Yeah, that's a great story to share. And you know what? Sometimes it might happen that I didn't ask and someone else did, and now they join someone else's team. Right? That happens all the time. So always ask for sure. All right, any other questions? Okay, so we do have a little bit more time, but the other thing I wanted to say is it is September 12th, okay? The month is still young. However, it's time to kind of decide, do I get my butt in gear or do I throw in the towel for this month, right? It's almost like I want to give you a little wake-up call. Depending on what you've been doing, where you're at, you all should have seen some kind of growth as long as you invested in, putting more time into this business, whether you've been doing vendor events or really doing customer care calls. Something should have happened from them, right? Maybe you got a team member, like Michelle said. Maybe Carolyn had a good vendor event and, she got bookings. Esther, invested in the freezer meal. Kathy said, I'm going to get people on this opportunity event, and she invested time. So whatever you've been doing should have already created something, right? A lot of times, though, what happens is we want instant gratification, all right? We want I messaged 5 people, so I want 5 parties. And if this doesn't happen, then this doesn't work, and blah, 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 right? But you got to remember that you got to work this business. You don't have to work this 40 hours a day or 40 hours a week. But you do have to invest in this business, especially for what you guys want. All of you guys are not hobbyists anymore. You all want to be a director. You want to lead your team. You want to, have a consistent income. You want people to look up to you and reach out to you when they need help. So you do need to invest in this, okay? So you need to decide right now, right? Or talking to your director tomorrow, whatever, and be like, can I still pull this off? And guess what? Yes, you can. I don't care if you have 0 shows, but yes, you can. We have promoted people in less than 21 days from the moment the switch went off, all right? And I don't want to call someone out, but I know that there's certain people on this call that I can see that light bulb went off, and they are starting to believe that this is happening. And from the moment that you decide and you really commit to it and say, I don't care what I have already. I still have, the month is not even half over. There's so much time to, do my own shows, to make a Freezemo workshop, to host a fundraiser, to go back to my leads, blah, 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 blah. But you have to fully commit to it. And you have to believe that this is what you're going to do. You have to believe that you're like, starting this marathon and that you're going to make it to the finish line and not, stop or whatever and cross the finish line later when things align. All right. You guys know me. I'm not a big sugarcoater, so things are never going to align. All right. So if you're waiting for that perfect moment where you have your 8 shows, at the beginning of the month where you already have 3 team members, guess what? By that time, that first team member doesn't want to do anything anymore. Right. Or, had to move or has a crisis or life happens. Right. So if you're waiting for the perfect moment, it's not going to happen. All right. Just like there was never a perfect moment for you to join. So you guys need to decide now and, say this is happening and I'm going to give this 150%. I'm going to be my director's BFF. We're going to be talking every day. We're going to check in every day. We're going to do everything I can, because when the moment happens that maybe you don't make it, I want you to be able to say, I gave it my all. Because the last thing you want is that it's September 30th and you have 3 team members and 4,000 sales. And then you're going to say, oh man, I wish I would have maybe done this vendor event, or maybe I wish I would have participated in this Freezemo workshop and gotten my other sales. Or man, I wish I would have asked that busy mom that I really didn't think she was going to do it, and now she joined a different company. Okay. The month is still early, but you are the deciding factor in this. How hard are you willing to work to go after your, director? How hard are you? I'm tired. But, and then the other thing, of course, anyone that's going to the Virginia retreat, this is your month because you get recognized and celebrated with home office at the retreat for your promotion. And you're setting yourself up for an amazing fall. Whatever you guys are doing, anyone on this call, you're moving forward. You're participating in these calls, you're doing your homework, you're present, and you're investing time in your business. So you're not going backwards. Nobody's going backwards. And I've seen so many of you, kind of going through these programs a couple times until it finally clicks. Okay. And that's it. There's nothing I can do. I can't come over and pull that switch for you. It's just something that you're going to have to decide. All right. So I think those were some good leaving words or ending words. Any questions? Does anyone feel like that light switch went off, or maybe they want to share? No? Okay, so I'm not going to call anyone out, and it's okay if you're not, if you think for whatever reason you can't do it this month. But I will tell you that every single one of this call, every single one of you guys can do it if you're willing to work for it. So I would love for you guys after this call, especially the ones that were on live, to go on this Moving Up call and Moving Up group and say, I am doing this. Watch me be the next director at the Pampered Chef. Promotion date October 1st, right? So you promote September, then it goes active October 1st. All right. So I'd love to see lots of posts like that, because then we can really inspire and keep sharing what's working. So I'll post the homework here in a minute. And if you have not filled out your assessment form, definitely do that. All right. Any other questions in general? Anything going on that you guys need help with? Nothing? No questions? All right. Well, guess what? Get some rest, and then it's back to work tomorrow. And follow up with anyone that you invited to this opportunity event. All right. The key is in the follow-up. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.